The flow of the day is pretty dynamic. Above all, priorities are going to be going on calls. Typically in the morning, you come in, you check out your gear, you kind of get some coffee, you get acclimated. The next step is to figure out who I'm working with. It's a roster board here. So there's me. Looks like we got Kyle Holman, great firefighter, works over at Station 8. All right, now we're gonna go check out the rig. Is this our first time working together?
Probably on the ambulance.
So yeah, we've worked together quite a bit on the engine, but this will be our first day together on the ambulance. So it's a little bit different from working on the engine. On the engine, you got a crew of 4. Madison is very dynamic, so there's a lot of thinking and there's a lot of anticipating needs of the patients. And then, you know, we're together for 24 hours at least, because you're gonna have to document all that, and then I can do your airway and monitor, and then vice versa on that. You get your morning briefing in. You know, our chief will let you know if there's anything that they need for you to do.
It's also EMS training day, so if you were not scheduled for one of these trainings, please do try to take time to knock out some EMS training today.
Another big thing that we do is we do city inspections. So in our territory, we'll get a bunch of properties that we are required to go and inspect. And basically that entails checking their smoke detectors, checking their fire extinguishers for expiration and you know, functionality. And then there's other fire codes. You know, there's a big list that we work off of. Good morning. I'm Brandon with the fire department. We're just doing an annual fire inspection. A big part of firefighting is fire prevention these days, especially in Madison. We're pretty progressive and pretty forward with our code enforcement. Just a kind of set it and forget it type thing, and these things save a lot of lives. So we take our inspection part of the job pretty serious. I like the cultural diversity that I run into. I think it's important that your crew kind of reflects the demographics of the neighborhood, and I think it's nice to kind of go into some of these homes and businesses and kind of, unbeknownst to me, you kind of inspire people that are, you know, the kids and things like that by just them seeing you simply doing what you're doing in the position. So I got some time on that, so that's good. When I started my career, I started more Station 3, and now I'm here at 10. I think 10's got a really big community vibe I get. There's a lot of interaction with the community that you get when you go out on the calls. And I think the demographic is pretty diverse. I like seeing different people from different walks of life. And, you know, it just keeps me on my toes as far as just, you know. That sounds like a job. Yep, here we go.
You want to put us on those calls?
I think what's really attractive about this job is that the differences you make are on such a grand scale of life and death, or of a better outcome. You know, I would have been in this situation, but had, you know, you intervened, and now I'm walking and talking, able to be with my family. I think it's really gratifying to go home knowing that the change I made is one of, you know, where people are very, very, very thankful, very grateful. I've had a couple saves on the job where, you know, without our intervention, that person may have not been there for their kids, that person may have not been there for their family, and it just, it keeps you going. It really fuels the fire, and that just goes back to why I take the job so serious, why I consider myself a professional, and I bring that mindset to everything that we do, because it's just not, it's not your typical job. You know, it's a public service. I like serving the community. I like serving those that look like me. I like serving those that don't look like me, because then we learn from each other. And I think it's just one of the very, it's a very basic level of making a difference in this world, you know, the way I can. Pompeii King. Pompeii King. Just being a firefighter as a whole, I feel like has made me a better man. It just teaches you that integrity, that hard work, and it just makes you feel like you're capable of, accomplishing anything. Being a medic makes you value your life. Health is wealth above all. So just having a healthy, happy family is something that I am thankful for every day.
We met in high school. We were in some of the same honors classes together. Our senior year, we started dating. We've been dating ever since. He just said, I'm thinking about applying to the fire department, and I said, okay. The Madison Fire Department, when he was in the academy, they had something called the Family and Friends Day. And it was where you brought your immediate family up to kind of see what they were doing in the academy, and then various people spoke. And one thing that they made sure to really emphasize, that we understand that as family members that you will have some anxiety and some worry and concern, but their safety is also top priority. The department does a really good job of making sure that they're trained, that they're safe, and that no matter what can happen or will happen, that they are properly trained on how to do their jobs. And they're passionate, and they're family, they're a brotherhood, and that they're taking care of each other.
I already dropped the ladder. So we cook our own meals, lunch and dinner. There's another family aspect of it. We eat home-cooked meals, and I think there's no better way to bond with somebody than to sit down and just have a meal with them. You get to learn a lot about that person. That's probably best shower in bar. It's usually a good time. There's usually good food. There's always leftovers, and I think that's what kind of makes this feel like home too. I think eating meals is really important when you're trying to bond with somebody. It's just something that you just don't see at a typical 9-to-5 job. The relationships that we build transcend, they transcend way beyond the firehouse. So we take care of each other, we lift each other up, we check on each other. Kind of general statement, but I really like making a difference. And when I say making a difference, it can be in relations to talking down a psych patient, who's been unruly by the cops, and the cops are looking at other means of controlling them, and me showing up and just using my words to kind of mitigate that situation. It's a great responsibility, but it's one that I take on with a full head of steam. It goes unsaid that if there's ever a situation where I need to risk my life to save your life, it's a no-brainer. I got it good, man. I won the lottery. That's what they say. Congratulations, you won the lottery, and I think I truly did.